button.
Okay. Hi guys, Yuki here with Kyeira.
Yeah.
Hey. Haha.
Yeah, well.
And Touchy.
Yo.
This is part 3 of Locked Hearts, and hopefully we'll be done with this in this part, or maybe next part, but...
With the soul part,
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah.
I'm finally back from PAX.
Yo.
I wonder who did my voice while I was gone.
Don't ask. We move on from this. We're moving on.
Alright, fair enough.
I totally didn't botch it up. So there's no evidence of this.
Okay, Taha, Mingir. It's already recorded, remember? And it's on YouTube.
Don't care. Don't care. I didn't see it.
Alright then, let's get to it then. I wandered the halls of the mansion, unable to escape the... What is that word? The echo of Soul's confession. I know Soul didn't want the curse to bind everyone indefinitely. He just wasn't strong enough to break free by himself. I had to help him somehow. But how? What could I possibly do to free him? I don't know how long I roamed before I passed by a special set of doors. A strange thought came to me and I stepped inside. Are you finally gonna put the locket in Goldilocks' heart area?
Remember, she said she had to get the rust off first.
Oh.
Yeah, remember,
I
so she
have
couldn't.
no idea what y'all are talking about.
Yeah,
That's what happens when you miss things.
It became a revelation that apparently the locket is Gold's heart.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
wow.
There's a problem with it.
The caveat is that there's rust on it that cannot be removed. It can
well,
only
no,
be removed if
it's forming more rust because somebody doesn't want the curse to be removed. Hint, hint.
So
hint,
the
hint.
plot thickens and it twists?
Yep, and Soul
Yeah.
doesn't want to change it because if he ends the curse, he has to be the heir to the Deluxe family
He
again.
doesn't want to be
which
the
means
heir,
he-
he wants freedom.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be his father's puppet, even though his father died several years ago, but he's still haunting him in his dreams.
Oh
With the
wow,
whole
that's
big-
kind of messed up.
Is what you
Okay,
just skipped
well.
over.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, I had to catch up, right?
Yeah. Anyways,
Anyways, moving on.
Gold's room was still in perfect condition, not a curtain or pillow out of place. I hadn't been in here since Soul welcomed me to meet Gold. I suddenly felt anxious, not knowing where to look or stand. Gosh, this is so weird. Am I really going to ask a doll for help?
what?
Yes?
I don't know, are you?
Yes.
Because he has a sister complex, and only his sister can help him break free.
Well, you are the said character, so you get to make the decision.
Right.
Don't feel pressure.
So try.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Alright.
I'd say try.
Right. Pushing my skepticism aside, I stepped into Gold's room and approached her. I didn't have any options left. However, as I stared into her glass eyes, the blue still so innocent and yet empty without her heart, the doubt came rushing back. I felt like a fool. Just because I heard her voice once didn't mean I could communicate with her. Sighing, I started towards the door, defeated and concerned for the fate of Deluxe household. Really? Was that I
know,
messed
that
up
wasn't
already?
Even, really even trying. What the hell?
She didn't even say, "Can I help? Can you help me?" No, she's like, nah, she's dead. Bye.
Yeah, what the heck? Pathetic girl.
Dude, just listen to what she's saying. Oh my gosh. It sounds like she beat herself up and gave up before she even tried. That's
Yeah.
pretty dumb.
Okay. I couldn't break the curse, and now I couldn't figure out how to help Soul and Dion. I knew they weren't expecting anything of me, but after what the Toymaker said, I also knew the burden rested on my shoulders.
Oh wow.
still, I needed to be realistic. How can you be realistic in a situation that has no realism to it?
Yeah, no
Well, I mean,
realism.
still to her, but it's all. It shouldn't. It's unreasonable. It's crazy.
It sounds like she's literally going insane, like she's trying to put reason in a situation that never had reason to begin with.
Yeah.
There can't be reason if the situation is
Yeah,
totally
come
utter
on,
mess.
bears that turn into people, that turn back into bears, that turn back into people. Really?
I think this is taking page from, I know some of the viewers might know this one or they've heard of it. The Silent Hill 3 fourth wall break. Basically, you tell the character to inspect the toilet, the character starts to go in, but then suddenly the character backs away and chastises the player for making the choice.
What the?
Oh, wow.
Because it just shows her like leaning, and again, I know some viewers know this, but he's leaning in, about to look at the toilet, then suddenly backs up and goes, "Ew, no way, not in a million years." I don't know why I would make that choice. It's like, why did you give us the option?
Yeah.
If it's not an option, don't make it an option. It's that simple, developers. It's that simple.
Alright.
But no, it's not, Taha, because this one has a plot twist and another twist inside of a twist. Twistception!
Alright.
You don't need twists.
Gold was trapped in doll form, so I couldn't expect her to help me. You didn't even try!
You didn't even
I
talk
know,
to the
you
doll.
see? You see?
Of
I should
course.
find Dion and talk to him. Cause he knows how to help the problem.
Yes.
Of course.
I do, my
Wait,
lady.
something happened.
As I left the room, a small voice called out from behind me.
Aura.
Finally! Spinning around, I saw a faint image of Gold just inside the door. I blinked several times, but she didn't disappear.
This way.
Gold waved her hand at me as she stepped towards a large closet. Oh, we're going to Narnia, guys!
Dun, dun,
Oh,
dun,
this is
dun,
kind of
dun.
creepy, actually.
Where's my proton pack? Where's my pack?
The doors were teak? I've never heard that word before, and the handle's pure ivory.
Eek. Does that mean small?
Don't
I
know.
think they mean a color? I don't know.
Did they mean teal?
Let's.
Did they mean
let's-
teal?
Let's
I don't know.
learn some
There's no
words.
dresser in the image here.
Maybe that was a typo. Maybe it was teal. Anyways,
Alright, while you guys continue, I'm gonna Google that real fast and see what's
That's
the
what I'm
word.
doing.
okay.
Teak.
You
Teak.
continue.
Teak means hard, durable timber used in shipbuilding and for making furniture.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Dang.
Okay, so it
that
is. So
was
it
a real
is
word.
basically another word for large, heavy wooden doors.
It's for a type. No, it's for a type of wood. It's like the sturdiest or something.
Like pillars. It's
Yeah.
kind of like like pillar doors. That's weird.
I
Anyways,
was a little afraid to touch.
vocab.
Yeah. I was a little afraid to touch something so elegant, but Gold disappeared into the doors, forcing me to follow her inside. It was hard to get through the rows of dresses, now too small for the youngest deluxe child to wear once she became human again. Eventually, I found Gold amongst the clothes, pointing up at the ceiling. She glanced up at me with a peculiarly sad expression, but faded away before I could ask why. I had to fight with the clothes a little more, using shelves and rods to lift myself high enough to grab the dangling rope attached to the door handle.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh,
Why does that sound
trap
like a
door?
noose?
Oh, I thought that too, but that's really bad.
This is kind of creepy.
Yeah,
Surprise,
that's exactly
Golden
what I was gonna say.
Troll.
Well, she went into a closet full of dolly-like clothes from a little girl 7 years ago, so.
Literally a wardrobe. Anyways.
Creepy.
I somehow managed to pull out a fold-down ladder and then continued into an attic.
Watch
This
there
is
be like, watch there be
So
like
it's a
a
secret-
super
secret
scary face in the
passage.
next frame.
This is
Scare the
such
crap
an
out of all of us.
intricate wardrobe that I've never heard existed before, and it sounds like it could never exist. And me trying to put logic in this makes me just as bad as her.
Anyways.
Yeah, remember, it's all rich make-believe.
Yeah. It was fairly bright in the attic space because of a few windows on the short walls and the roof above. Dust motes floated through the air even though I moved slowly around the boxes and support beam. Gold, are you here? I whispered for Gold, but I didn't hear her again. I didn't see her again. However, when I glanced around, I found someone totally unexpected. Did I find Dion? Is that where he's been hiding?
Oh god, maybe that is where he always hides.
Dion? Tapping against the support beam was Dion.
Wow.
His arm was resting on a treasure chest, and his head was tipped back in slumber up until I called his name. Startling awake, Dion flinched.
It fell from the ceiling.
Aura, how did you find this place?
Believe it or not, it was Gold who led me here. Dion looked puzzled and opened his mouth as if he was about to reply, but he quickly shook his head, dismissing whatever he was going to say. Is this where you've been going every day? Dion flushed and looked down at the floor, resembling a child who got caught doing something he shouldn't be.
Not every day.
I saw his arm tighten around the treasure chest at his side. Curious, I stepped over to where he was sitting and knelt in front of him. What is this, Dion? Though he hesitated at first, Dion looked at me, then at the chest at the side and moved to open it. Despite his small smile, he couldn't hide the sadness from his face. Inside the chest was a collection of photographs and craft projects. There were so many memories contained in here. I picked up a picture of Dion pretending to model a dress Soul had made out of lots of scrap fabric.
Oh boy.
Aw, you two are so cute!
Oh god, don't show the picture. Don't show the picture.
They should. Soul and I used to be really close. We'd tell each other everything. He was always full of great ideas. I envied his natural creativity.
When I turned to Dion, there was a nostalgic look on his face. There was a brightness about him as she shifted through the chest's contents.
I probably shouldn't tell you what I'm about to say, but for some reason, I feel like I can trust you.
I flinched when Dion's fingers brushed against my cheek, catching me off guard. I thought he was going to start flirting with me as he had since I got here, but he just pulled his hand back and looked into the chest again.
The truth is, I took being the deluxe heir very seriously. I worked hard to keep our father satisfied. These pictures only represent a fraction of my life. The few moments I allowed myself to choose my family.
Sunlight was refracted in Dion's damp eyes. He continued back into the past, revealing so many chains that controlled them. It was a wonder this family could move freely at all. It made me reconsider what I thought about the Toymaker's decision. Such a cruel man. How long have these two brothers been torn apart by something so trivial?
Soul was always a kind person. He'd smile and take care of everything, even if he was unhappy and hurting inside.
Dion sighed and fell against my shoulder. I I blushed at the sudden contact, but he seemed to need the comfort, so I patted his head and ran my fingers through his hair.
I'm a failure as an older brother. I've always known that Soul was hiding so much pain behind a smile. But even after the curse settled into our lives and our father died, I never tried to fix things. I called Soul a puppet all the time, but in reality, I am still just as much as a pawn in my father's game as Soul is.
So, your irresponsible behavior was just an act? When your father imposed to make his decision seem legitimate? What?
Plot twist.
You're right, it's a plot twist between another plot twist between another plot twist.
Oh God, no more plot twists. We don't need a Shyamalan in here.
Too bad, Taha, that's how these things work, don't you know? They're just as bad. M. Night Shyamalan got his inspiration off of these things.
Well, we don't need Lady
Ow,
in the
ow,
Water
ow,
too.
ow, did that hurt?
You don't
Dion
need a Lady
gave
in the
a
Water
small
too.
nod, his shoulders hitching. It hurt seeing him like this.
I guess I fell so deep into the routine that it became a natural response. Even after 7 cursed years.
So, remember how, like, in the second part we were talking about how the reason Dion was acting the way he was reacting and the reason why the dad chose the other brother was because he could control him better? So we were right about that.
We were. That's how nice people work, though. They get taken advantage of like that.
Yep. Anyways, it's not too late, Dion. Asked to resume as the heir or break tradition. Break tradition.
Yeah,
Break tradition.
I think we're kind of down
Break
that
it?
route already. Break tradition.
Your father already changed the rules by making Soul, the second child, the heir. Why can't you and Soul just break free from the past? Dion sat back up and looked at me with uncertainty etched deep in his face. After a deflating sigh, he shook his head.
Soul's sense of responsibility is too strong. And besides,
His voice lowered to a whisper.
I don't think he trusts me anymore. Not that I blame him.
I hesitated at the defeat in Dion's words. It was obvious neither of them wanted to be trapped in the role of the Deluxe heir any longer. But I didn't understand why they were being so resistant to the change. As I glanced back into the treasure chest of memories, the Toymaker's words came back to me. I didn't understand what she meant then. But the longer I stared at the photographs of Soul and Dion, smiling and embracing each other when they had not only been good friends but also close brothers, the answer was suddenly clear. Of course, it's no longer about who is the heir. I can't just free them from the strings binding them in the present. I need to repair the bonds they used to have before it was broken by family politics. Shifting the pictures delicately with my fingers, I found another one with Soul, Dion, and Gold all smiling and posing together. Gold was caught in a sandwiched hug by her brothers, and I had never seen anyone happier than the young girl right there. Dion, Soul had a dream the other day. In his sleep, he asked what he did to make you hate him. Dion recoiled at my words, his eyes wide and watery.
What? Soul really said that?
It was hard to nod as Dion's heartbroken expression. I handed him the picture I found and did my best to smile through the pain in my chest. You're his older brother, Dion. If you don't think he trusts you, then work hard so that he can. I know it's scary admitting the mistakes you've made, but isn't having your family back worth facing your fears? For a while we sat in silence. Dion looked conflicted for a while, but eventually he did smile. To my surprise, he even chuckled a bit.
Well, it's no wonder Soul's in love with you.
My body froze up, my vision going blurry before heat shot up to my face. It felt like I caught Soul's fever.
Oh,
What are you saying? Where does that even come from?
What fever?
Dion just laughed harder, his smile brighter than I'd seen it before. You can come in, Anita. I tried to laugh too, but my heart was beating hard at what he just said. Just then, it was suddenly hard to face him.
You'll understand soon enough.
Sighing, Dion leaned back and stared at the photograph. I knew he needed some time alone to think, so I held back on asking him to explain what he meant. I'm going to make dinner. See you soon, I hope. Sometime later, I was alone in the kitchen slicing carrots in a haze. Nobody had come back behind me because I might accidentally stab them.
Or end up cutting your own hand.
Right?
Yeah, that too.
Zero!
My hand-
Hello!
My hands moved automatically, which was good because I was still hung up on what Dion said before.
I can see why Soul's in love with you.
Just thinking about it left my cheeks feverish. He had to be mistaken, or he was joking, but Dion didn't have that mischievous smirk when he said it to me. Was he really serious? No, that's impossible! A sigh took the strength out of my shoulders.
Thunk.
Dead. It took a moment to realize that the rejection hurt, even though I was the one who insisted upon it. I've been so worried about the trouble between Soul and Dion that I'd forgotten how quickly my heart would beat whenever I think of Soul.
Oh god.
Oh boy, here goes the accidental stabbing.
Come on, Taha. Work up your manliness voice. Your pretty prince voice.
Manly manly voice?
Your pretty prince voice.
How chill I am.
Think of velocity the whole time. There you go.
Prissy pants.
Poof.
Lady Aura?
I flinched, surprised by Soul's quiet voice. I must have been so deep in thought that I hadn't noticed him coming. Yes?
You've done so much for me, but...
I held my breath. But what?
But I'd like to ask another request of you.
Soul? Soul turned his head towards me, his cheeks pink as if his fever had returned.
His finger did return.
His fingered fever had returned.
Oh god, that makes it worse.
I think she's getting a little flush here.
Though if that were the case, I felt like I must have caught it too. Gosh darn it, Dion, why do you have to do that? Before Soul could speak again.
It's all his fault that she's in this situation anyways.
And blocked.
Oh, Dion! His face showed both sadness and fear, and I understood why. In his hand was a picture. I could see the paper trembling from across the room.
sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Sol sighed and turned a faint smile towards the door.
What is it, brother? Do you need something?
It took a few deep breaths before Dion found the courage I knew he had buried in him.
I have something to tell you, Soul. Something I've been meaning to tell you for a long time.
Alright, but...
Dion was edging out of the door, and even though I knew what he was going to say, I understood why he wanted only to say it to Sol. I looked up at Sol and gave him the biggest smile I could. It's okay, Sol. We can talk afterwards, okay? Oh, this is third person.
Oh, great. So this was all a scheme our father pulled together.
Sol sat down on the edge of Dion's bed, holding his forehead with his hand. He'd always believed Lord Deluxe underestimated Dion's abilities, but he never imagined Dion was being used too. I'm sorry, Sol. Sitting next to Sol, Dion leaned on his knees and sighed in relief. He'd finally removed the weight he'd been carrying for over 7 years.
Why didn't you tell me before?
Because I knew you'd blame yourself if I did. Silence fell between them. Dion wasn't wrong. Sol felt pain, with guilt after hearing the whole story, especially after what he said to Dion a couple of weeks earlier. Dion glanced at Sol, then reached up to ruffle Sol's blonde hair into a mess.
Hey!
I knew it. Come on, Sol. Let's move out of the past and into the future. Sol nodded, pushing Dion's arm away before the two of them fell into brotherly laughter for the first time in a long time.
Brother, can we go see gold?
Dion stood up, looking down at his picture again. Yeah, I think we both have something important to tell her.
It's hard to explain what happened when I finally brought the stew to a simmer, so it wouldn't require attention. Suddenly, a small light began to glow beneath my shirt, something I noticed in the reflection of the pot.
I'm guessing that's also gonna be gold tape?
Yes, gold. Okay, we'll pass out.
Hey?
Okay. I knew that voice. I looked around the kitchen while trying to pull my locket out from under my shirt.
Aura!
I finally got it free, the light getting stronger. Wincing, I held the locket in my palm, and when I finally saw through the brightness, I inhaled sharply. The rust is clearing! I dashed out of the kitchen, holding the locket close to my heart. Following Gold's voice gently calling my name, I ran through the mansion until I ended up at her room. Panting, I nudged the door open and stepped inside.
Lady Aura?
Aura, what's that light?
I could still hear Gold calling my name, so instead of answering, I walked over to Gold. Hands trembling, I took a deep breath and carefully slipped the necklace my mom gave me years ago back onto the girl who had given it to her. When the locket fell near her heart, it snapped open, revealing a picture of Gold as a little girl.
My heart.
The light bloomed brightest then, all three of us shielding our eyes. When it finally faded, the same young girl in the photograph was standing before us, just 7 years older. She beamed at us.
No way.
Gold?
You broke the deluxe curse.
I stood there both relieved and surprised. After so many weeks of nothing, Gold was finally human again. Even though I never met her before, I knew how much everyone in the mansion missed her. I glanced backwards at Sol and Dion. Both stared at Gold, dumbfounded with tears glazing their eyes. It was like the chains holding the brothers back had finally broken apart as they rushed forward and swept Gold into the same hug they shared as children. I couldn't help but laugh and wipe the tears from my eyes. All three siblings were reunited. As it was meant to be. After the deluxe curse came to an end, life on the mansion exploded with activity. As it turned out, a few kids were playing in the forest and were surprised to see the deluxe mansion seem to appear out of nowhere. It wasn't long before the general public all wanted to find out what happened. The busiest one was Sol, trying to handle all of the questions that flooded the deluxe estate.
Of course it's me.
It took a lot of his energy to divert their endless curiosity, especially as he needed to keep social channels open and maintained. Day after day this continued, and the longer I spent away from Sol, the more my insecurity built. Despite all the time I spent here, it wouldn't change the fact that I didn't belong here. I was just a traveler who just got caught up in the curse, a girl on her way to be a chef in a small restaurant one town over. And the longer I spent in my room witnessing this flow of people, the stronger I felt about leaving. After a week almost passed, I decided that I should leave. It wasn't hard to gather everyone together since I didn't have any personal items with me. I doubted I'd find my lost luggage, but that was okay. I'd just buy new clothes and necessities after I found a job. I held on to the hope that my restaurant job would still accept me, my help, even though I had disappeared for a while. With a heavy heart, I crept into the lobby. I didn't tell anyone I was leaving because I knew my emotions would overflow if I did. Goodbye, everyone. I hope life gets better for you now. Bad end!
Aura, where are you going?
I turned to see Gold dashing up, her hair flowing behind her in golden waves. Oh, Gold, I was going to go back to my old life since the curse is broken and everything. My voice drifted into silence, my resolve already weakening. I didn't want to leave. I loved it here, but I knew, as a commoner, that this world was beyond me.
How? But I don't understand.
Reaching over, Gold clasped my hand in both of hers. Her blue eyes shone clearly in the faint sunlight.
What about your feelings for my brother? I thought you would, well...
With their eyes pinning me on the spot, I looked down, cheeks flushed red. What are you talking about?
I spent a lot of time near your heart, Aura. I know you love Sol.
Gold,
Wait. I can't stop you from telling my brother how you feel.
I wanted to tell Gold I couldn't say anything, not while knowing Soul couldn't reciprocate my feelings because of his role as an heir. But her pleading eyes made it hard to say anything. I think she sensed my hesitation because she sighed and squeezed my hand gently.
Well, at the very least, will you take the dress Soul made for you? Even as a memory of the time you spent here?
It's done? When did Soul have the time to...
Soul made the time because it was a promise to you.
The tears made their ways onto my cheeks, hotter than my skin. Even though I didn't understand why he would work so hard on the dress for me when he was so busy, I felt happy to hear he did. Still, it felt wrong to leave without thanking him and everyone else for everything. All right, Gold, I will. Gold wouldn't let go of my hand until we reached Soul's workroom, perhaps thinking I would back out if she didn't. Once there, she urged me towards the door and slipped away down the hall. I suspected she stayed just around the corner, though. Taking a deep breath to steady myself, I knocked on the door. The door swept open, revealing Soul. His eyes widened when he saw me. I think we blushed at the same time. It was hard to tell because I looked down.
Lady Aura. He came.
The softness of his voice suggested he knew I was attempting to leave without saying goodbye. I bit my lip, feeling guilty. I'm sorry, Soul.
No, please, come in.
I nodded, stepping inside after him. I looked around the room, seeing papers scattered over Soul's desks and a white sheet over a mannequin in the corner. How are you doing, Soul? I know you've been so busy.
I'm alright. Nothing I cannot handle.
I heard you wanted to stay the heir of the Deluxe family. Soul nodded, giving me a wistful glance at his disc.
Yes. I know I said I didn't want to be the heir anymore. But when I think about how much my brother has done for me while I complained about my role, I realize I have a responsibility I should honor.
I was about to say his name, but he shook his head and smiled.
It's fine, Lady Aura. Dion said he'll help me if I need it.
As Soul said that, he stepped closer to me, his expression saddened again.
Yeah, velocity will help you. What?
It was the same one I remembered from before the curse word. Soul?
Oh, there it is. Were you really going to leave without hearing me out?
Oh, he sounds mad. I tilted my head, confused by what he meant at first. Then I remembered our conversation in the kitchen. Oh yeah! I forgot to.
Yeah, so did I.
Oh,
Sorry. I guess I thought you'd forgotten. Oh, that's you. That's sad. Sighing, Soul lifted my hands to his lips. I blushed when he kissed my fingers.
I could never forget about you, Lady Aura.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to respond, but the words wouldn't come out.
Isn't it?
Soul's eyes were focused only on me, something I liked but was embarrassed about at the same time. As if sensing my distress, Soul smiled.
Come here.
Right into his lap.
Without warning, oh my god, Soul lifted me into a hug, pressing his gentle hands upon my back. After I got past the shock, my arms wrapped around his waist. Soul felt so warm. I could hear his heartbeat quicken.
I think this is what love feels like. I love you, Lady Aura.
Who did?
I
I don't know.
You just came out of
I love you too, Soul.
Eh?
I leaned back in Soul's arms, taking in his warmth.
Stay here with us. You're part of our family now. It wouldn't be the same without you.
I would love to. Soul didn't say anything else, only smiled, his green eyes filled with light. After a moment, he led me over to the sheet-covered mannequin. Do we get to see the pretty dress?
Yeah, I hope so. Finally,
Shyly,
shit.
Soul released me and removed the cover. The dress he revealed was beautiful. I had drifted my fingers down the collar. Soul, I've never seen such a lovely dress.
Oh, come on. It's not going to show us like that. Dang it.
Not yet, probably. Probably towards the end.
But she's wearing
I
it
thought
to the
only
wedding
you would have
gasp.
created it.
Thank you. So, sorry, I was gonna steal your line.
Someday, I'll make you another dress that'll be more beautiful than this.
He's talking about the wedding dress.
Yep.
Only that you'll perhaps wear on our wedding day.
Oh, God, of course.
I felt the blood rush to my face at his bold proposal. Soul smiled his princely smile at me.
Jeez, that was
There was a
awful.
hint of a blush across his cheeks.
So, until that day, please stay by my side, my princess.
Aww. My vision blurred as tears streamed down my face. I gave him a sweet smile. I'm not going anywhere. Because this is where I belong now. Locked hearts, normal end.
This is the
Aww.
normal.
Normal in.
Aww.
Flop, 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 flop. Well then.
At least we're done with his, sort of.
Yeah.
I'm sad. I wanted best end.
Should we try another one then?
But I don't know what I did wrong. Oh, I didn't talk to him first. That's true.
Mm-hmm. And change up some of our answers and see what else we get.
Yeah.
Well, this was the, what was it, the soul ending,
Yes,
guys,
Soul
right?
side.
Soul's normal ending. Yep.
Yep, this was the normal ending for Soul. Well, we chose Soul, rather. Stay tuned. We'll be back
Accidentally.
with perhaps maybe a different ending we're gonna try and aim for, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one seems a little bit short.
It was 3 episodes long, and
Mhm.
I want to say it's like 5 hours, maybe.
Yeah, if you go straight through it from beginning to end, I think.
Mhm.
Part 1, part 2, and part 3, I think we're both about hour and a half-ish.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Stay tuned. We'll be back, guys. With another ending, hopefully.